Welcome, members, to the training call. This is Sandy Morris here. Yeah, we thought we'd do a little training here today. We have so many things going on, so many good, exciting things going on. We're breaking volume records. So now we're going to start moving towards understanding blockchain, understanding exactly what that means, how to maneuver in a basic way on an external exchange, what all the numbers mean. You know, there's a lot of zeros after decimal points that seem to mess people up, but we're going to try to break it down in such a way that today's training is going to be market capitalizations, Bittrex, what all the numbers mean, how to navigate through it, and what better person than a young man, well, a younger man. I was trying to make you laugh here. A couple of, I don't know, it's probably been 5 months now, maybe 6 months that we've met and we've discussed some ideas on the original vision of Visionary and how it would work. And we came across Gary at some point and got listed on, with his, expert help, and of course to hear Ali, the other tech guy, the other smart guy that has a lot to knows a lot about this, got us on some external exchanges and those types of things. So Gary Connor, chief and editor of Altcoin Today. Gary, today I know I'm going to ask a very, very big question of you. When we train today, we have to train as though everybody was 12 years old. I understand working in and around Wall Street and money and derivative securities. One common thread about finances, about the market, about the exchange is very, very, very few people have a clue what all the numbers mean. So when we go through this, you can start however you'd like, what we talked about earlier, as long as we keep it in a form that's so simple and so easy. We don't want to get into great detail at this point. We'll get into great detail when we have a fully functional payment, buy support, pay in, pay out, the app that we'll move forward with, how we're going to be able to move money. Then we'll get into really detailed what we need to do, how we're going to move this, what we need to do. So enough of me talking. You're all here to hear Gary and his expertise on this cryptocurrency market capitalization. So with that said, Gary, my friend, they all know you by this time. Go ahead and let's start out with just basic difference between, maybe Bittrex that might be paired to the dollar versus, Blue Trade or CoinMarketCap, or what a pairing even means and why it's paired to a different indice for that matter. So with that said, Gary Connor, take it away, my friend.
Absolutely. I will attempt to keep this as simple as possible. Unfortunately, it is a little more technical. It just is. However, watching this, you should have some better understanding that when it's time for you to get in and start playing with the shark, so to speak, you won't get eaten alive immediately. So the very first thing that we want to look at, people just love coming to this website. I love coming to this website. It shows the health or lack of health in the cryptocurrency industry. And you can see right there at the very top, you have Bitcoin, #1 with a $6,891,000,000 market cap. That's a beautiful thing. Bitcoin's up 3.82%. That's what people want to hear. That's what people come here for. That's what we're all trying to do with Capricorn. We want to see that $6 billion figure in the next couple of years. So
hey,
how
Gary,
does that? Yes.
Well, let's start right there. Let's start with just Bitcoin. Since they were the first, they were the penetrator of this market that we call, the digital revolution. When Bitcoin first started, tell us, how long did it take to get to a dime? How long did it take to get to $1? How long did it take to get to $100? How long did it take to get to their high of, at some point, I think it was 1,250? Why did that happen? And now tell us what the current price is and why did it level down, just to give us an idea of time frame of Bitcoin and what happened in front of us and what we can kind of expect to happen to our coin in a roundabout kind of way.
Well, I please implore people not to hold me directly to these numbers. I can give approximates.
Sure.
One of my problems is my time clock in my head's broken, and I don't know what the date was. I can tell you when something happened, and it absolutely did happen, but as far as the sequence of that, I can keep it in order, but I certainly can't tell you exactly what day because it's just been a wash for me for the last 10 years. So anyway, essentially, Bitcoin started to float around in 2009. It started to do stuff, and a trading card company, Magic, let's see, MT Gox, Magic the Gathering trading card company. This was literally a game that people would trade those little characters back and forth with each other, and it was an exchange for people to do this. Well, that group of people who created that website decided, hey, we're going to put Bitcoins on our little eBay-type exchange, and people can buy and sell Bitcoins with each other. How fun is that? Mt. Gox was the very first exchange for Bitcoin, and it was the first place for people easily to connect with each other to buy and sell Bitcoins. And from that, the exchange itself was created. And I think it was about 2010, Bitcoin got somewhere into the 10 to 12 cent area. 2011, it was kind of up around 25 cents to 50 cents. And again, every time that it passed any of these markers, from when it went to a full penny, people were like, oh, that's unsustainable, crazy, crazy. Then it got to 10 cents. There's no way that's ever going to last. Are you kidding? That's ridiculous. And then it got to 50 cents, and people were saying, well, hey, it might make $1, and they were kind of excited, and it did hit $1, and everybody's, oh, boy, it's the end of the Bitcoin world. It's gone. Well, that was around 2011. So 2012, it went on through, and it started to creep up into the multi-dollars. And then you heard the story about the pizza, I think was in 2008, where the kid bought a couple of pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoins or 20,000 Bitcoins. So the first actual Bitcoin transaction, that was the pizzas, recorded anyway. That one, again, was 2000, I think maybe it was 2010. But through 2011 and 12 is when it started to actually get the attention of some of the powers that be. And other exchanges started to be formed, and that's when it started to catch a little bit of traction. 2012, it was pretty well on its way, heading towards $100, 100 plus. 2013, about the middle of 2013, it was, I believe, $75 or $80, and it started to pick up the media attention. The media started to talk about it. Well, and also something else in the background was happening, but I'll talk about that in a second. But the price of Bitcoin started to inflate pretty rapidly. And then about November of 2013, it actually did crest that $1,258 or $278 mark, and then it was just absolutely viral. And it's kind of held that for a few hours, and then it started to creep down, and it kind of kept spiking back up, and then it finally started to creep off. Well, then in the early part of 2014, the truth as to why the Bitcoin ever made it to that started to transpire, and that was this group of the Mt. Gox, MTGOX was the name of their exchange, Magic the Gathering trading card company. They had been manipulating the numbers, and they were refusing to let people take withdrawals out of their accounts, and Bitcoins weren't there, and bottom line is they stole close to $500 million of people's actual money and value in Bitcoin, and that's why Bitcoin started to decrease as rapidly as it was, because as soon as the mainstream media and news found out that there was a chink in Bitcoin's armor, they went for blood, and they started a mass negative marketing campaign against it through 2014. Well, you have to ask yourself, well, why would they do that? Well, if you don't know that the government and the banks literally own mainstream media news sources, you need to do a little bit of research and pay some attention, because the stories are virtually force-fed to them from the top through places like Routers and Associated Press. They virtually verbatim read every story that comes from those two sources, and those two sources are very specifically owned through some major banking names like the Rockefellers and Rothschilds. Anyway, not to get into conspiracies because we don't care about that. Bitcoin did receive a whole bunch of bad press, and it continued to get pushed down into the $200 mark for quite a little while, and then for just a very brief period of time, it got smashed down into the high 100s, and that didn't last very long. People recognized there was a floor, and they started to get back into Bitcoin. Well, since Bitcoin has been holding the 220s very, very, very stably, it's been starting to creep up. Now the new floor, it spiked up to over $500 here a couple weeks ago. That was again major hype. The market, believe it or not, it can be pumped and dumped. Pump and dump means that somebody can get out there and market the heck out of it, cause a lot of excitement. People will come in and start to buy something, and as soon as everybody's buying at their maximum, he starts selling what he had before he started the marketing. That's kind of what happened here a couple weeks ago.
Okay, well, let's recap what that first breath of air there that you just took. So at the end of the day, value, guys, when you really look at value and you look at these types of exchanges, the value is what somebody's willing to pay for said asset. And without giving financial advice, let's just look at the history of what Gary just shared with us with Bitcoin, that it took several years for them to achieve the milestones of a dime, 20 cents, 50 cents. And that was out without any kind of real management, without any kind of paid marketing, commercials, definitely not a innovative strategy like a distribution arm or an MLM where we have thousands upon thousands of customers, soon to be tens of thousands of customers. Instead of having a handful of gamers that originally started out with Bitcoin, you know, buying and selling these little things on a very small scale with a very closed group, I look at the distribution arm. The reason in which we're doing it this way is we can encompass a lot of different people and touch a lot of different lives and grow the footprint and penetrate these markets that it's used as money through the cash rewards program, through the merchant, through the mining that we're doing now for incentives in the future where we're going to give away Capricorn and those types of things and use marketing strategies to get lots and tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people all participating in the Capricorn. Now we have a big advantage. We have the advantage of the experiences of Bitcoin, and we can make some valid discussions and valid decisions off of what they did, how they did it, why it happened. So why are we bringing this up initially, guys, is because I read all of the verbiage in the chats and the Skypes. Guys, the bottom line of this, we haven't even fully launched yet. We don't even have the ability to buy goods and services. Understand that, yes, we're going to have influxes as we start sharing the visionary side. We're going to have mass amounts of revenue that are generated from certain sectors of the world that are going to have an effect on our mining costs, and that's to be expected. But understand this, and here's the point I want you to talk before we really get into the numbers here, Gary. Once you become a visionary member, you in essence are mining for free. Now, it's called two different things. We mine, and those slots or shares that we collectively pull our monies together and we buy time, and at the end of the day we're allocated X number of Capricorn. Now, once you have said Capricorn, it's your property. You can do with it what you will. You own it, you control it, you can do whatever you will. Now, some of you, a lot of you, have moved a portion of your Capricorn to an external wallet. And what really happens, whether you came in as a silver member, a gold member, a visionary member, it doesn't matter. Once you became a member, you started mining, and you moved those coins to the external exchange. you're going to be rewarded there with no additional cost for as long as you keep those coins on that external wallet. You're going to earn a bonus called staking. It's passive, it's easy, it's free. Because you were a member of a Vizionary, you got coins, you mined, now you've moved your coins to the external wallet. You're going to continue to reap rewards for the use of your coins. So when I look at this, I look at the packages we sell. Now, Gary, how does staking work? How do people earn additional coins? Where do the coins come from? What are they how are they derived? How are they awarded? And does it ever stop? So I know that's kind of a combination of 4 or 5 questions there, but along that same line of thinking, Gary, expand upon what I just shared with the folks here.
Absolutely. The staking process generates coins above and beyond the original 200 million, and it is designed to reduce its rewards every year, and it will produce up to Andy, what is the Capricorn.org, right?
Yes.
Thank you. Distribution.
Yes.
Okay. Here's the actual allocation.
There you go.
The very first year, it's going to create, and by the way, these are only up to percents. It does not necessarily, it's going to ever reach that amount. It's just the up to, and I'll explain that in a second. Up to 2% of the entire supply will be generated and shared with the members. Up to 4 million Capricoins are going to just come out of thin air and land in your wallet for free. Okay? Now, the reason it does this and the reason why it's up to 4 million but not to exceed it is the Capricoin network is designed to not need miners to support it. It doesn't need the traditional miners solving blocks for the network to work. If you own Capricoins and you have a local wallet on your computer, the network is going to share your computer's resources with everybody else to help confirm transactions. And that's what the other part of mining, the actual traditional miners like Bitcoin, that's what they use the miners for, is to confirm transactions. That's what's important. You buy something, the network needs to confirm you did that. This network, instead of using miners to do that, use a little bit of your resources on your computer, and by the way of saying thank you to you for you having allowed the network to use some of your resources, it shares some of this percentage. Now, if the network's not really busy, it doesn't need you. It's not going to generate as many coins. That's why I say it may get up to 4 million, but the truth of the matter is there's just not that many activities on the network today to require 4 million. Now, next year, it's only going to produce up to 2 million. It will only do that if there's so many transactions that it's using your resources, just a little bit here and there all the time. It's going to reward more coins. You'll also notice if you've ever sent coins around, there actually is a really small transaction fee. It's like a micro portion of a penny. That fee gets shared with everybody else who has wallets opened. So you get some of the new coins that are created every year, but you also definitely get a portion of all of the fees that are paid for people sending Capricoins around. Now, how significant is that fee? I want to tell you that Capricoin's going to need to be over $2,000 before it's even going to reach a penny. So essentially, people can still send their funds around for free. A penny on a $2,000 transaction is still nothing. Anyway, so again, year number 2, it's going to reduce down to 2% total possible, 2 million, and the next year it's going to go down. It'll cut it down in half again to 1 million, and so on until you get down to year 24, where essentially it's not generating any new Capricoins. The only thing people will be doing is sharing the fees. It was designed like that because right now there aren't many transactions, there aren't very many micro fees in there, but in 24 years, if we have half of the Visa transactions, your wallet's going to generate an awful lot of income. And that's just because of those little teeny tiny micro fractions of fees. And then, of course, the potential price of the Capricoin. So
well,
that's how
$2 billion in transaction a second adds up in a day, doesn't it?
Oh, it sure does. It sure does.
Right.
Yeah, but that's why we did this. And by the way, this is a very significant feature of Capricorn, and why I say it's the perfect coin, because the problem with Bitcoin today is to pay the miners to leave their network on, it generates new Bitcoins. All right, let's compare the two. If 4 million Bitcoins were generated, times that by $460, that's how much it would cost Bitcoin to leave this network on with this type of reward system. That's not sustainable. And as a matter of fact, I did the math on the Bitcoin network here a few days ago. The monthly cost in new Bitcoins being created to even leave their network on has exceeded $30 million a month.
Wow. $1 million a day to support their network.
Pretty much. And if anybody wants to do it, basically there's 25 Bitcoins that are generated every 10 minutes, so that's 60, times 24 hours, times, let's say, 30 days, times the current price is $460, is $49,680,000 needs to be generated from new adoption or transactional processing fees to even pay the miners for the Bitcoins being generated at this price.
Wow. That's all I can say.
That's an expensive piece of rent, if you ask me. That's an expensive network. That's why our coin is so much better. When it gets to that point, we won't be generating that many coins. I mean, look at your number 13. There's only 977 coins. Let's call that $1,000. That's $977,000 for an entire year. Bitcoin's 49 million today. So that's the reason why that reducing algorithm was in place, and that's why I called it the perfect coin. It does take into account raising prices and transactions for the future.
Okay, so let's put that in layman's terms. That we're saying now that Bitcoin, because of the way it's structured, can't sustain itself because it's got to reward the miners that are costing what, about $1 or $1 million a day, plus or minus.
Yeah, plus or minus.
Yeah, what's $1 million here, $1 million there, right?
Right. Well, and now let me just throw out there that, you know, the Bitcoin movement, they do recognize that as a bit of a problem, and their suggested solution is to enact a fee or enable a fee. And some of the numbers are 50 cents, 25 cents, some are even saying as much as $1.25 per transaction. Well, if you're spending 60 cents to send $5,000 from the U.S. to Europe, that's not a big deal. But if you're putting 60 cents on a bottle of pop or a cup of coffee, that's not practical. So if they do that, Bitcoin will probably be completely reduced down to just the backbone / AKA gold standard for the industry. And that's kind of the role that Bitcoin is starting to get into, because it's slow, it's expensive, and the entire economy, crypto movement, is actually being built around it. It's literally like we're incidentally building an economy around a new gold standard called Bitcoin. So I don't think Bitcoin's going to go anywhere. I still suggest people own it.
Okay, good donation. Really appreciate it. Okay, let's get into some numbers. People say, oh, it went up. Oh my gosh, it was 30 cents today, and they get all excited. And, oh my gosh, now it's back down to 12 cents. Oh, it went up to 22 cents and went right back down to 12. God, it seems like Capricorn's volatile, and let's simplify it for people so they don't, because there's not that much well, Gary, that's what I brought you on to explain it, so I don't have to.
Okay. Well, let me just dive straight into it. All right.
There we go.
That's probably the best way. So let's go back to coinmarketcap.com, the place that everybody's looking for these things. Now, all of the prices in this column, if Capricorn was sitting down, okay, Capricorn, in theory, its network is worth $26 million today. If the entire supply was listed by CoinMarketCap, Capricorn would be the 5th largest coin in the world today. All right, so let's establish that immediately. The reason that hasn't happened is because the person who owns CoinMarketCap.com has a personal He does not like proof-of-stake coins. He doesn't believe in the way that they're being distributed, and he doesn't believe the fact that he can't turn all his hardware on that he purchased to mine Bitcoins on towards the Capricoin network and other coins like that, Fuel Coin, Dogecoin, not Doge, but Dash and Blackcoin. He just doesn't like them. And my work with Fuel Coin was very similar to this. That I really took a long time to get him to understand that these coins are fully distributed. So you need to give us the whole supply. So let's look at the Capricoin market, and unfortunately you have to go look for it. Okay, here it is, CAP, CPC. Okay, right now it's only showing, here you see the 236,929. Those are only the coins that the network has generated to say thank you through the proof of stake process. It doesn't have anything to do with the actual supply of 200,236,929 coins. If you did those numbers, you would see that that's actually $26,860,962, which again, if you look at the coinmarketcap.com, $26 million market cap is sitting between Ethereum and Dash. That's where Capricoin would be if he would just give us our supply, even a portion of it. Just but he refuses to do that. This is an ongoing battle. So first, please understand that our whole supply of 200 million does not go into this market cap figure. All right, and there's nothing we did wrong. There's nothing anybody did wrong. There's nothing wrong. It's just the guy who owns this particular site doesn't want to show the truth of what our market cap value is. All right, so what I like to do is, let me go back to the primary column. You look at the price. These prices are all in US dollars, all right? This one is $3.81. This one is less than a penny. It's 0.0000149 of a penny. All right. I personally, when you start dealing in exchanges, you're going to be dealing in Satoshi, and a Satoshi is a bit. Okay, first off, everybody knows that a U.S. dollar or any of the normal fiat currencies in the world, they're divisible by 2 decimal points. We call those cents or shillings or whatever. So 0.01 in US is 0.01 cent. That's 1 cent. Bitcoin itself is divisible by 8 Satoshis. So they call point and 7 zeros and a 1 Satoshi. So here's point, and then 7 zeros. If that was a 1, that would be 1 Satoshi. Our price is actually, and then you start reading from left to right, our price is actually 29,320 Satoshis. When you convert that into the US dollar price of Bitcoin, that gives you 13.5 cents.
So go through the numbers, Gary. Tell them exactly, if I times this by this, I would get this.
Okay, it's multiple, and it takes me a second to figure out. Okay, what you do typically is point and 4 zeros. Whatever our price is, and didn't we say 29.30?
Yes.
I'm just using 29,300, so there's my 8 zeros. Oh, I apologize, it's 3 zeros. Times $460. So basically, you take your Satoshi price times the US dollar price for Bitcoin, and that number that comes up is your US dollar price.
And we call that what? A Bitcoin pairing?
That's your Bitcoin to fiat conversion price.
Okay, great.
Now, on this front page, that is basically the Excel spreadsheet he uses to come up with these numbers, $3.81. If I go into the Litecoin market, I'll show you that it's at $3.81. Their actual exchange price is 0.008266618. So that's 826,618 Satoshis.
Gotcha.
So if you take 0.00826XXX and you times that by the current price of Bitcoin at 460, you're going to see that's $3.81.
Perfect.
Okay. So once you have that figured out, and again, I need to go back over to the Capricorn thing. I'm going to now shift gears, and I'm not going to talk pennies anymore. Everybody who I hear saying, oh, it went up to 22 cents, oh, it's down to 13 cents, that can change based on the price of Bitcoin all by itself. If nothing at all happens on our market, okay, if no movement whatsoever, let's just say the price was 29,000 Satoshis. Let's be a little more accurate. The price today, when everybody woke up, was 29,320 Satoshis. Okay? Bitcoin went up 3.9%. Without our market moving at all, our coin value will go up 3.9% because we're paired against Bitcoin.
There's the key word, guys, paired, and that's how we're deriving values here. Understand, guys, we're consistently, what are we, Gary, at 10 to 15 cents right now consistently? And we've been on the exchange for what, 3 months, 4 months now?
Well, I can say with confidence and comfort that we have not dropped below 29,000 Satoshis since we started on the market. Here it is, 29,320. So if our price goes down to 10 cents and we're still sitting at 29,320, whose fault is it? Is it Capricorn's fault or is it Bitcoin's fault for dropping 25%?
I know.
Yeah?
Yeah, I got you. Okay, so pretty basic, pretty easy, but understand, guys, I see a lot of, guys, if we were doing something in such a way that we're building hype and guaranteeing, I saw a video the other day with a digital currency company that was promising 2,600% return in a week. Not annually, but 2,600% a week. That's according to it, that's the best investment in the world, period. And I never call out any company, but realistically, that's like the best return ever in history. Forget about cryptocurrency or Forex or any of the playgrounds out there, but goodness gracious, I mean, that most certainly can't sustain itself. Guys, what we're trying to build here, whether you know it now or not, is all about acquiring Capricorn as fast and as inexpensive as possible and using innovative strategies, one being the distribution arm, MLM itself, our cash rewards program, bringing on merchants, having volume, the movement of money. This is going to take a little bit of time. All that we're doing right now is priming the well, guys. And this volatility, it's not volatility. It's a little bit of money that comes in a relatively small volume. So that little bit of energy that comes in, or that monies that come in, or revenue that come in that affect this, or peer-to-peer transfer, somebody on the external exchange buys X number of dollars worth of Capricorn, in one day it's going to bring it up X number of dollars. Because it seems like it's volatile. It's not volatility. It's called growing pains. We're growing up. We're starting to age. We're starting to mature. We're starting to break new markets. We haven't even bought or sold anything with our coins yet. We haven't used an external wallet. We haven't bought or sold. We haven't scanned anything. We've had no movement of money. Look at what Bitcoin did. Go back to that. It stayed at 10 cents for a year, 20 cents for another year. It didn't get to 50 cents for years. You've got to understand that this is bigger than anything you've ever seen in your life. You just got to give it a little time to age and breathe a little bit. And then you've got a very fine bottle of wine where you're going to take a couple of sips. You're going to start taking a couple of your Capricorn, you're going to buy a couple of things, and you're going to start being one of those participants that use the coin, that's going to build the value, that's going to brand it, where it becomes inherently used on a daily basis. And for those of you that stay the course, that understand that one coin could be worth $1,000. You're already by external staking right now, you have a huge advantage over anybody else that came in, because remember, the things that affect staking primarily or have the greatest weight are going to be tenure or time, I guess I should say time, and how many you have on your external wallet. And people say, well, how, Andy, will we get the value to increase on the external exchange? That's coming. That's what we're building now. You got to build a user base. Because what good would it be if we go to the merchant and say, okay, hey, we've got this cryptocurrency. Yep. It's great. It'll save you money. Yep. He'll say, great. Well, how many people use this? Well, we've got like 10 worldwide. Yeah, it doesn't work that way. You've got to build a customer base to induce the merchants. Once the merchants come on and the volume flows, this will be the most profitable thing that you've ever seen in your life. And that's just the way I see it. What you have right now with timing and having and staking and understanding where this is going, I can't put it in any other way that Bitcoin didn't have innovative strategies. It didn't have, when it first started, QR codes and the ability to buy goods and services. It was all done and spiked in price because the media got hold of it, because it became popular. And that is what really broke the walls down and the barriers for cryptocurrency worldwide. That was the greatest marketing thing that could ever happen, was the crash of Bitcoin. Because once it crashed, it went from a speculative investment with a bunch of people or popularity from the media down to a normal albatross. It leveled out. It hit a floor. It went down to 200, came up to 400. Now you've got a viable asset with a true value that is not dictated on those damn investors that come in and pump and dump and mess everything up. Guys, what we're trying to build here is a slow burn. Slow increase in value over a long period of time makes a lot of people a lot of millions, period. So be patient. We're getting there. Things are developing nicely. We're already at between 10 and 20 cents on a daily basis, and we haven't even technically launched any software, any movement
nobody's
of money.
Going there yet. This group of people that we're talking to today, the very beginning of this is literally this conversation that Andy and I are having with you. We're going to teach you where to go. Everybody in the future is going to hear from everybody else where to go. That's where this market volatility, not volatility, but instability comes from, because nobody but me and a few other people actually know where to go to do anything. Well, once everybody knows, the cat's out of the bag. Oh my gosh, I can get Kappa coins for 13 cents. Well, hey, idiots, go buy them.
Well, think of the power, though, Gary, that we have when these merchants come on board and they start accepting Capricorn. That is going to induce a behavior to the customer. That customer that comes in to buy that pizza says, Capricorn, you accept Capricorn. What's Capricorn?
That's right.
You know right there probably while he's waiting to get his picture or his pizza, he could download a Capricorn app if the merchant was smart, would say, hey, you know what? Go jump on that. Go to the Apple Store, go download the Capricorn app. That's step number one, getting them introduced to what Capricorn is. But the majority of the people that will start seeing this branding of Capricorn and these merchants that say, download it, by human behavior, they're going to go Google Capricorn. They're going to go to an exchange and look up Capricorn, see what it's worth. And what do you want to bet? A lot of those people are going to go buy Capricorn just because they saw it down at Joe's whatever, or Joe's accepting it down at the pizza place.
Just so they can try it out. Yep.
Exactly. You're going to have external units that are just go to the exchange. That's immediate real-time volume to our entire platform. Now, you've got to attack this from multiple areas, from customers, from merchants, from members, to the distribution arm, to everything that we're going to do, the marketing, the allocation of the coins, the free coins that we'll give out to merchants and customers to get this started, the rewards that we'll pay, the cash back will be paid in Capricorn. Everything that we do is about getting hundreds and millions of people with a little bit of Capricorn that'll use it. Now, you probably are saying right about now, I'll let you answer this, Gary. I'm a guy, I've got 1,000 Capricorn sitting on my external wallet, and now we're in a phase down, 6 months down the road, a year down the road, and the value is continually going up. Why would I ever want to spend my Capricorn in my wallet, Gary?
Why would you want to?
Yeah. What should I do? Should I hold them? Should I spend them?
If you have something that, if you have an asset in your arsenal that has week after week, month after month, year after year demonstrated uptrends, let's call it a piece of real estate, would you sell it to go buy a pair of shoes? I personally wouldn't recommend people selling their Capricorns because it's like real estate. But if you do need to buy a pair of shoes, at least you don't have to sell the whole house to go get that pair of shoes. But the other side of it, the same argument could be made with Bitcoin. I use Bitcoin all the time. Now, Capricorn's a little bit different than Bitcoin because the longer you hold it, the more you have, the more of the proof of stake coins you get, the heavier on the network you are. But it's not enough under a couple 100,000 coins to really freak out about today. It's not like you're missing $800 or $1,000 a day of staking income from it. You should be able to buy and sell, buy and use Capricorns. I buy and use Bitcoins. In fact, obviously, I'm kicking myself again today because I spent probably 50 Bitcoins between July and today, and I paid less than $200 for them.
So what has induced you, even though, let's say, Bitcoins have got an upward trend, it's increasing in value, what's happened to you, Gary, that you're using your Bitcoin? What's the behavior? Why are you using your Bitcoin when you know maybe they go up to $1,000 this year?
That's
or next
right.
Year?
And I'm not using Bitcoin as my retirement position. I'm using Bitcoin because I love it. It's easy to use. I don't have transactional fees. I can enter and exit the Bitcoin economy without giving a share of my blood to any bank or government. I really like that. I like the anonymity. The truth of the matter is, it's because you do have so much personal control, and the interaction that you have with the world is so much greater. And I no longer have just friends in my little city. I have friends all over the world, and we interact with each other financially, and that's part of the reason.
And at the end of the day, I think you have to support your own asset. Just like you said this, and I'll do a quick, just like you said this is real property, like real estate. Well, everybody's got to participate in the neighborhood. There might be people that pick up trash, deliver the mail, you might cut your lawn, somebody might snow blow your driveway. You've got to give a little bit back to the community to keep the status quo or to keep that value of your neighborhood in such a way that it's continually or increasing in value. So the same thing applies here. You've got to use a little bit of the coin now and again, you know, say 10% of your coins. You want to use that to buy goods and services. In my opinion, you want to support the value of the coin that you've got a lot of coins. Let's say, okay, and let's say they're worth $1, and you've got 1,000 of them. You got $1,000 worth of Capricorn. You know, in any given month, maybe you use $100 worth of them. Maybe you buy a pair of boots, or maybe you do. But it's all about you've got to support your own playground. And the way I look at it is I'm always going to be giving back, whether that's giving, and the best way, I think the most effective way to really move Capricorn and get people engaged in it is I fully plan on giving tens and thousands of Capricorns away. Whether I give 5 away to customers, friends, and a blast, anybody that responds in the next 30 days will get 10 Capricorns for free. You get them to download the wallet, and right there, that's what I'm buying. I'm buying them because they know they've got 5 Capricorn worth $5 they're going to use those $5 down at the pizza place to buy a sub. It's all supporting your neighborhood, your own playground. If you want your house to increase in value, you need to upkeep it. You need to spend a little bit of money. You might need to replace the roofs. You might need to get the lawn treated, whatever it might be. Same thing. You're supporting the value and increasing the value of your home through maintenance, through upkeep, through all those different things that keep a neighborhood's value in check. And that's the best way I can put it. Eh, Gary?
Absolutely. Hey, Andy, we've got some people asking some specific questions about Bittrex. Do you want to go into that real quick on this video?
Absolutely. Let's go.
All right.
Sure. We should have started there anyway. We got kind of on a tangent.
I apologize. I'm going to do a real quick crash course, and then we can go slowly over it, but I want to give the quick questions answered.
Okay, sure.
There was one question or one statement. You know, I get paid and I spend my money, and if I could buy food and fuel or gift cards and things with Capricoin, I would probably have my paycheck in Capricoin. To that person, I get all of my money in Bitcoin, and of course I buy other things like Capricoins and other things.
Right.
But my wife's income is maintained in fiat because unfortunately we can't buy groceries today. But the good news is Bitcoin is answering that problem for the world. And anywhere Bitcoin goes, any door Bitcoin opens, it will be available for every other altcoin, including
Well, and that's what I love about cryptocurrency. When I look at it, you've got to use some of your Capricoin, because the way I look at it is this. There's really three types of money. You've got money that you use on a daily basis, money that you're going to invest long term, and then money, to me, that outpaces inflation. You always want to have a store of money that outpaces inflation or hedges against inflation and those types of things. If you're going to spend fiat currency anyway, you might as well do it in form of cryptocurrency and take advantage of the cash back, the savings, the no fees, the anonymity, the ease of use, because you're going to spend that money anyway. You might as well support your own neighborhood or your own coin and platform because you got to spend that money anyway. Right?
Well, and the most exciting part is that, you know, the reason why Capricoin is moving slow on the markets, it's very methodical. The reason for that is because Bitcoin's number one problem is its volatility. Now I'm talking real volatility. There were times back in 2014 where I thought I have $5,000 or $6,000 worth of Bitcoin. I get on a 3-day road trip and I get to my destination, find out I've lost $2,000 while driving. That's something that we want to avoid with Capricoin, and how we do that is by slowly building the market. And the volatility that Bitcoin suffers has to do with two things. Number one, there isn't any management. Number two, there's perpetually huge down pressure on the price through the mining of the coins. And again, we talked about that. 49 million bucks come from somewhere. It either comes from new adoption or it comes out of the people that currently hold it. And traditionally, for the last year and a half, it's been coming from the people that hold it. So anyway, let's get right into into Bittrex. The reason why I'm suggesting Bittrex is because it's plain and simple. It's the best exchange that's out there today. They're the safest, securest, and also have done more for being regulated for the United States, which is hugely important. All right, so what you want to do is you need to get registered. It's really simple. Fill out your email address, do your password, agree, and then here it's showing 1418 as a CAPTCHA code. Do that and sign up. Check your email. You might have some sort of a confirmation email. Do that. Once you do, then you can go back to Bittrex and log in. Get to the login page, and you type in your email address and the password. Now there's one other feature I have enabled on mine, and I'm going to encourage, if you don't know how to do this, talk to somebody in support, including myself, and get your two-factor authentication enabled. Now, two-factor authentication is done on my telephone, so right now I'm looking at the code that they gave me, and I'm not afraid that you see it because in 15 seconds it's going to change, and it's a one-use only code. That will keep all the hackers out of your wallets. All right. The very first thing you need to do is you need to, and I'm going to do this for buying Capricoin. It's the opposite if you're selling Capricoin. You need to go to wallets, and the very first thing you need to do is find Bitcoin. It will probably be at the top of your list, Bitcoin. You can search for BIT, and it'll bring it right to the top. And also is true with Capricorn, CAP. I just typed in CA and see it came right here to the top of my list. What you need to do is to generate a deposit address for your Bitcoin. And that's a plus symbol right here. You hit plus. Now I've already generated one with mine. You're going to see one that says generate new address. I'll show you one on a coin that I have never created a account for. Okay? This is what yours will look like. All you do is hit new address, and it'll come up with a deposit address for you. You just simply, and I'm going to go back to Bitcoin now. Here's my deposit. You can either, if you have your phone, your coins on your phone with Coinbase, you could take a picture of the QR code, or you can just highlight, copy, and then let's say that we had Coinbase opened up over here. You would paste that into your Coinbase wallet to send Bitcoins to that address. Once you send the Bitcoins, it will show up here in your balance, your available balance. My current available balance is 0.05 Bitcoin. All right, what do I want to do with these things? I want to go and purchase some Capricorns. So again, you don't have any addresses in your Capricorn. That doesn't matter. You can click on Capricorn, and you scroll down a little bit. You have your buy box on the left, and you have your sell box on the right. I'm going to buy some Capricorns. So you look at the market. Here's the buy side. The very top of the buy side is the actual bid for Capricorns. The highest bid is 29,045 Satoshis. All right. Come over here to the sell. The lowest sell is 29,132 Satoshis. I'm going to look here at the price, 29,320. That's an average between the multiple exchanges, so they're actually technically showing a higher price than is true on the exchange right now. But if you buy this, the next one for sale is 31,235. If you ever see a massive spike in the market, it's because if you look at the top order, 234 coins is for sale for 29,132. That's 0.06 of a Bitcoin. Well, I plan to spend 0.5 of a Bitcoin. How much am I going to have to spend to do that whole order? Well, here's one order for 0.0682 coins. Here's one order for 0.07. The sum of that is 0.14 Bitcoin. So I want to spend 0.5. You have to look down here until you pass 0.5. You can see that I will be paying 32,010 and less. It'll pick up all of these, but it will also take the price of the coin to 32,010. Now, 32,000, I haven't done the math, but I believe that's 15 cents on the coin market cap. That's where you're going to see these spikes come from. If somebody had 2 Bitcoin and they wanted to buy them all right now today, they're going to have to scroll down this column to find 2 Bitcoin. Let's get all the way down here until we can get to 2 Bitcoin. Right here we're only at 1.8. Here's 2 Bitcoins. Ding, ding, ding. That price is 86,331, and we're trading it at our price is at 29,000. If I was to spend 2 Bitcoin right now, this very second, what do you think is going to happen to coin market cap? It's going to spike like nobody's business. It's going to take us to 35 cents a coin. Well, obviously somebody's going to get smart and go, hey, somebody's willing to pay 35 cents for Capricorns. I'll sell them. And that's why you might see those spikes and valleys in the markets. That's exactly what happens with these things here. You have these ups and downs, and it's because people are buying up and people are selling down. We're just looking for a nice, pretty straight line with our market. All right, so I don't want to spend 30,000 Satoshi. I only want to spend 29,000 XXX Satoshi for my Capra coins. Well, I'm going to do it. I'm going to be patient. Well, okay, first I'm going to establish, heck with it. The next price available is 31,000. That's 10,000 Satoshis higher than this column here. I'm going to go ahead and click on that price, and it sets it here in my bid, and it also sets it here in my sell. And now I'm going to click on the quantity. That also sets that quantity in my sell and in my bid. All right. The reason why I did that, I'll show you in just a second. All you need to do, you want to buy those 234 coins for 29,132, and it's going to cost me down here 0.06 Bitcoin. I buy them and hit confirm. I just
Big
bought
spender.
them. They're gone. They're
All
gone.
right.
All right. Now, I would like to buy anybody's coins for 29,132 because the next for sales are 31,000. So how do I do that? Well, I'm going to change this not from 234. I'm going to change this to 1,000 coins. All right. I'm looking here at 29,045. Somebody wants to buy 2,500 Capra coins. Well, I know because I watch this market, nobody's going to sell that many coins ever on a day-to-day basis. I'm never going to get any coins if I bid under that price. So I'm going to click on his price, and you see it changed it here in my bid.
Yep.
And I'm going to just change that to a 6. Boom, 6. And I'm going to hit buy Capra coin. And now I've just bid for 1,000 Capra coins at this price, 29,046. I'm the top of the bidding list today. Anybody who sells first into the buy wall is going to sell to me. Well, what's going to probably happen is this guy's going to go like, hey, wait, I want those, and that's going to creep above me for another Satoshi. That's basically, if you don't understand how stock markets work, this is exactly what it is. People are throwing up bids, people are placing orders. If you want to add some buy support and hope somebody's silly enough to sell to you at this price, do what I just did here. If you want to sell some Capra coins, okay, I'm going to see the top of the sell wall is 31,235. I click on that because it sets my number here. It's just a lot easier than having to try to remember to put in all the zeros and change that number. I'd like to just click on the approximate price.
Gary, did you use the word happen to?
Happen to.
Okay, I'm with you. I get picked on for using that word.
I have friends from Ohio.
From Ohio.
Higher.
Yeah, I got you. That's
okay,
funny.
so again, I'm just going to change this down to 31,230.
Gotcha.
And I'm going to sell 234 coins. That's 0.07 Bitcoins. And I hit confirm. And there it is. And a little star comes up, and they'll show me my buys and sells.
Right. You've been busy today.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
So the reason why this is important, if you're looking at the micro pennies that are going, what establishes our current exchange price, you can see that the true volatility is so significant because for $460, that's one Bitcoin, here it is, 0.097. If one person on the planet went out and spent one full Bitcoin right now today, it's going to shoot the price of our coin on CoinMarketCap up by about 2 cents. And we already told you or established that to get to 80,000 Satoshis is less than 2 Bitcoins right here.
Right.
81,000 Satoshis is roughly 45 cents for just under 900 bucks.
Right.
So this market is brand new. I have been the person that you see who's making that volume. It's been me. Because we want to have volume, we need to establish the market. We need to set it up somewhere. We are literally at this point just putting in numbers and having volume internally to mature this market. But once this cat's out of the bag, it'll take on a life of its own. There's going to be tons of transactions in it. And people of the world will establish and determine what that price is. And I propose to you that it's probably going to be closer to 20 cents because I just said for less than $500, you can almost all by yourself pick up everything under 20 cents. And if you think 20 cents is a great price for that coin, start putting your buy support in at 20 cents. And that will change on CoinMarketCap. Right now, it's just, it's not a real number. So watching CoinMarketCap for that, it doesn't really give you any information. It's not a real number. It's not, the world isn't trading here yet, but it's going to. And by the way, to give you an idea how significant this area of our coin project is, I have literally seen, while working with other crypto coins, I've literally seen $10 million roll into their market in a 24-hour period just because the rest of the world picked up on what we're doing. I saw it with Dogecoin. I saw it with Dashcoin. Literally, they launched this thing, and all of a sudden they're on the exchange, and boom, they're right
Gary,
there.
let me ask you a question. The companies you just named, did they have a cash rewards program?
No, they do not.
Have an incentive or a quantifiable value and benefit to customers, and did merchants have the ability to communicate and earn and retain and save money with merchants using their coins?
No, they don't.
No, they don't.
And
Guys,
they can't even speak English. You think that I'm difficult to understand? These guys make my head swim with the terms that they use. They're hackers. They're not social people. These coin camps don't have a social networking organization behind them. And they're worth millions.
That's why I keep, be patient, hang in there, keep sharing it, keep allocating Capricorn. What goes on behind the scenes in the laying of this, it takes time. It's like being in business and building a valuation and a footprint and a schedule of events as a corporation would move into, say, before it went IPO or offering or something of that nature. These are all things that need to be done so that the community understands that we're in this for the long haul, that we've got a base of users, a base of merchants, a base of volume. It's backed up by 5, 10, 15, 25, 50 Bitcoin. That's the stage that we're in now. And we're doing our best to explain it in such a way that you understand it. But yeah, guys, I would have shared some of these strategies and ideas and thoughts 5 months ago, but I can't. You understand the space in which we operate is highly competitive. Did you notice how many, or at least one or two other coins that I know of after they figured out how we did it, were automatically on? So secrets are going to remain secrets, and strategies are going to remain strategies until we're ready to share it with the world. Know that we have the best absolute interest in your success, probably more so than any other company you've ever been in. I've been in the shoes, and I always constantly look at things from the perspective of the end user, and in this case, that's the affiliate base, the members, the merchants, the customers. If you're going to build this for the long haul, unfortunately, you cannot just slap on a coat of paint and hope it sticks, because that doesn't work. This is longevity. This is sustainability. We're doing everything we can now to ensure that we're a major player in the future moving forward with our cryptocurrency. That's what it all comes down to. Could we be a flash in the pan and I could sell a whole bunch of hype and we'd be here one day, gone the next, or shut down for being illegal? Absolutely we could. Could I promise 2,600% a week in return? Absolutely I could.
Oh, even worse than that, Andy, you could deliver it. I absolutely know you could deliver it for exactly 34 days and then disappear.
Yeah, right. So guys, if you're going to do something, big business takes time. I can't put it any other way. There's a lot of components, and the founder and the co-founder, Frode and Ladislav, are working real hard. Tahir's, busy up to his eyeballs with all different types of technical things and solutions, and we've got a lot of things figured out. We're moving forward. We've got a group of people, because remember, at the end of the day, what is MLM? It's a group of people forming a function over a long period of time. That's going to equate to retention, profitability, and all the things that go with it. If you can't stand the heat in the kitchen, then get out. You still own, control, and maintain your own coin. Sit on it for a year and go sell it if you don't want to be a part of it. But don't get all wound up in such a way that we're not there yet, guys. We're still a couple of months away till we're going to feel the full effect of what we're doing. And I can't put it any other way. It's going to take time. The first quarter of next year, get some things moving, get more and more of you familiar and educated and trained on how to buy and sell on an external platform like this, because anytime you do anything like this, it has a direct effect to the cost and or the influence up or down. So for now, it's as usual. Go share it with some people. Mine as many slots as you can. Understand you're being rewarded through a lot of different processes. You're getting the 20% bonus. You're building a foundation of coins, members, people. You're building your infrastructure of all the people that are going to use Capricorn. Hey, Gary, let's just throw a stupid figure out. Let's say 1,000 of our members bought $100 worth of Capricorn tomorrow or next week. What kind of effect would that have on the external value?
100 people.
Yep.
No, 1,000 people bought $100.
Yeah, let's say 1,000 of our members use Capricorn to go buy a pair of boots next week.
Yep. Well, we're looking at $100,000, and I'm going to divide that by 469. That's
Understood.
213 Bitcoin.
Okay.
Okay. Let's come down here and see if we can spend 213 Bitcoin.
I doubt it.
Okay, we get all the way down here, and if you were selling Capricorn for the exact same price as Bitcoin, there's still only 25 Bitcoins worth of Capricorn available. And we have 213 to spend. I don't want to give any straight out numbers, but I guarantee you we're not going to be 15 cents. 213 Bitcoin, I'm sure that if that was to come to the market and we were trading around 35 to 50 cents, there are going to be people that think, oh, wow, I got these for 10 cents. I'm going to sell them for 50 cents.
Right.
That will find its little mid-ground somewhere in probably 35 cents. And that'll be a real number.
That's the power of Vizionary. That's the power of people working together. That's the power of membership. There's cash rewards to that. There's bonuses attached to that. No, you're in the right place at the right time doing the right things. First and foremost, diversification of your assets is in my eyes, the dominant thing that I tell all people to do. But with that said, Gary, we're an hour and 15 minutes. Brother, I appreciate you coming in and knocking this thing out of the park, and hopefully we've done a good job today on simplifying and then going over the basics, getting over the misconception of the volatility and the spikes and all that kind of good stuff, and hopefully people understand that we have a vision, we have innovative strategies that we're going to implement, and 2016 is going to be the year of cryptocurrency. Hey, I mean, it's like something ready to just explode, and we want to be a part of that, but we've got to structure the business properly now if we're going to reap the rewards next year.
Absolutely right. Well, it is the very beginning, and Andy, we appreciate everything that you do. This isn't easy. There's professionals behind the scenes 24 hours a day, 7 days a week doing what we're doing, and it's going to make this happen. So, again, everybody, thank you so much for having me on again.
Hey, no problem, Gary. I always appreciate it. Thanks for your insight. Thanks for your education. And with that said, my friends, thank you, Visionary Nation, as you joined us here today. We'll keep on moving the football down the field and go from there. Have a great, I don't even know what day it is. Have a great